Okay. From now on, all interesting comments will be videoed and recorded for yours and my safety purposes, for trade and security purposes, and for suing and hacking ability purposes. What do you reckon? Could you use that at court? For doing some things when you want to record some comments, just in case people might just take your comment and go, oh, I'm going to spread that everywhere before you can start spreading it. So what do you do about that? You record date and make sure things are a little bit more evidence-based when it comes to any court decisions if you ever get stuck in that kind of thing. What do you reckon? As these people don't want to admit what they have done onto you. True? When it comes to stealing comments and stuff like that. What do you reckon? It's just been edited. Do you want me to talk about it? Now, when you do watch a documentary, I've talked about this in a clip in a way, but here it goes again. You might remember for a while, so people do tend to study before a test, as your brain can remember it easier. And then after that, when you did something once or twice, right, and over time, if you don't practice that, or your brain wasn't too interested, like you go, oh yeah, on that kind of thing too much or anything, your brain will lose that information as it swips and stores and tries to see what you need to think of mostly straight away, like a computer. You know a bit about computers and how computers store and how the memory slows down in a computer. The more you put into it, right, up on display, the more you want it to be activated quickly, the more the computer slows down. Like, it needs to do something. It needs to move this here and there and put this and zip this up. It's there, but it's really zipped up. That means you need a memory to someone to remind you. Then that one will come up. You get it? That's how your mind works. You know? And so if you're constantly doing a lot of things, if you're a multitasker like me, and you stay in that field, you'll get better at it. Right? And you'll still remember how to do it. It's not that long. Right? But if you wait too long, years and years later, and you're doing a different field, so your brain starts storing up that in the quick section of your brain to quickly spew out to everybody, right? And then you store that. That's why it's good if you want to become a pro, and you know, there's not too many true pros, because what's a true pro? You know everything about it. What I call a true pro is a pro like this. They're a mechanic, they know all issues, and could be all sorts of issues on one issue, you get it, right? But they're that good because they're a pro, right? Everyone likes to go, I'm a pro because I studied something for a little bit and I know a bit or I know a lot. Right? But that's not a pro, they know a lot. Right? That's why we don't call practitioners pro, they're practitioners, because we're not a pro at health yet. No, we're all still learning things. Right? And it's like that with a lot of things. Definitely technology keeps changing. So that technically no pro mechanic, but if you work hard enough and do it, you could be. So we should do mechanic competitions maybe to find out who's a pro mechanic and why. That might help better mechanics out there, like they do competitions for chopping cars and stuff, about who can diagnose problems. Right? Because when they might know a sound, ting, 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 oh, with this sound and a little bit of that, because really, with real knowledge, you can become a pro the more you study something. Maybe when you go, I've fully studied an ant, I know backwards and front, I know what it's thinking, right? I know this, I know the sound before it's about to fucking fart, right? You're a pro at it, you know all much you know, right? And you can send that to everyone else, so if they ever want to know about ants, they know everything. And that's what we're still studying. We think, oh, here, we'll look up an ant doco. Yeah, I know everything about ant docos. The ant doco just told me. Yeah, but the ant doco doesn't know everything. But it knows everything what we know up to today, or what that person knows, or what they've researched. Right? So we're all practitioners, right? Until the very end, really, when it comes to a lot of subjects. Right? The easy things we should get sorted out easy, like a really easy one, so we don't get called a practitioner on it, is how do you keep your people housed and fed and happy when they need time off at any time, right? You pull that off, right? You could say that this world's a pro at keeping their people fed and going through disasters, because they know what buildings to build and they know what disasters are going to happen around there. And so if anything happens, because they're really good and they're pros, it'll be very rare. And then they'll upgrade and fix that problem and it won't happen again. True. But anyway, We obviously don't have too many pros then, do we? So, who wants to become a pro, and how do we make these pros? Do we use competitions? Say how we watch football players. Would we watch a program about pros who are mechanics and competition about becoming a good mechanic and how to become a good mechanic and so on in all those sectors? What do you reckon? I reckon the TV shows will go bonkers on this one because they're not doing it yet, and they definitely need some ideas, I think. So there's some ideas about TV shows and to help people learn and all the rest. Have a good one. Bye-bye.